Hey everyone, I'm Army Gaming, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. So I felt the need to make this video because now that we're in a Mythic era, the question keeps coming up on which legendary monster is worth getting. Where should you invest your Elementium? And to be completely honest, it's hard for me to say definitely because for all we know, maybe SocialPoint will make it a way for us to use our Elementium and be able to convert it to Mythic Amber, which will be more useful moving forward. So I'm going to caution this video by saying it is completely up to you if you want to use your elemental cells and your Elementium to still rank up legendary monsters, considering they might be outclassed within the next couple of weeks or months. With that being said, there are 3 monsters that I think are definitely worth getting as of the time recording this video, who are still very powerful, and I think they will be powerful still moving forward into the game. You're just gonna have to think differently about the way you use them. So for example, rather than running them with 3 speed runes, maybe you're gonna have to put a life rune in there and a high level life rune at that, so they can take the attack of a ranked up mythic monster. So it's something I've been doing with my warmaster Ragnarök actually. I actually run him with a level 10 life rune, and now he doesn't get OTK'd, and it's been working phenomenally. But with that being said, these are the 3 monsters I think are worth getting, and no, it is not it is not Uru. I don't recommend him. It's actually Madam Fusion. I just don't have Madam Fusion actually, but you know what? Bam! There, that's better. Okay, so these are the 3 monsters I recommend. Kraken, Madam Fusion, and Wormlad. I sincerely believe that these 3 monsters are still very dominant in the meta, and I think even in a world of mythic monsters, they can be very dominant. And what do you notice about Kraken and Wormlad? They can both hold the revival essence. So this is even more important in a world of mythic monsters, because if they die, the fact that they can come back to life and then still be able to act, that is amazing. Another thing you might notice about these monsters is that they are both dodge area monsters, meaning that they cannot get hit with an area skill. So this means that if you, for example, you fight an enemy mythic monster that has a powerful AoE skill, because you have the dodge area trait, you will not be attacked. So the only way to get OTK'd essentially is if you get hit with a single target attack. But what if you have a tank mystic monster on your team, and specifically a tank that has a taunt trait, right? We have plenty of taunt mythic monsters. I feel like SocialPoint did that on purpose to be able to use your dodge area legendaries combined with your tank monsters, specifically your taunt monsters. So for that reason, I think these monsters are still going to be very dominant. And then, specifically these monsters, the reason they're going to be so dominant, well, let's just go ahead and look through their skill set. But really quickly, evolving trait, immune to possession. This will also help against any mythic monster that gets released that can do single possession against you. But yeah, dodge area. If we look at skills, I mean, just look at the skill set on this monster. Disables trait on all enemies, deals heavy nature damage, applies stun and poison. I feel like once more mythic monsters are released, as long as we don't have a mythic monster with dodge area, this Kraken is going to be so powerful. Because even against mythic monsters that are immune to control, immune to possession, immune to freeze, immune to stun, Kraken doesn't care. Kraken will literally trait disable first and then stun. And because the enemy has a speed advantage over you, you are never going to be going before your enemy mythic monsters. Which essentially means that if they have some sort of positive effect, maybe they have evasion, maybe they have something that protects them, by the time your Kraken goes, that's going to be gone. So yeah, trait disable stun, super valuable. Feel free to rot. This applies mega stun to a single enemy monster, and it gives you an extra turn. So this is useful if you face against anyone that does have dodge area. If there's a future dodge area mythic monster, this will definitely help you out. And just the fact that you can mega stun an enemy monster, especially if it's a mythic monster, that's useful. Here's a skill that removes positive effects and then activates cooldowns and stuns. I mean, how useful is that, right? Activates all cooldown and gives an extra turn. I mean, and then you can also do a lot of torture, removes negative effects from your teams. Right now, the mythic monsters, as of time recording, can't really remove negative effects from your whole team. I mean, eventually we'll probably get one. But will that mythic monster have dodge area? Will that mythic monster be able to hold a revival essence, be able to deny if needed to? I don't think so. So the fact that this monster can remove negative effects from your team and remove positive effects from the enemy and apply torture, super good. And it's curse as well. Bloody Roots activates all cooldowns, and I mean, I can go on forever, right? Double stun. So higher likelihood to actually land the stun. So it goes without saying, Kraken is amazing, and I think even moving forward into the game, he's still going to be a pretty dominant monster. So if you were thinking about ranking up Kraken, I think he's worth investing in. Personally, take a look at mine. Mine is level 130. Here is the footage of me leveling up, ranking up this monster to level 130, because once mythic monsters started existing, I'm like, I have to invest in Kraken. He's too good not to invest. And like I mentioned, I think he's still going to be pretty darn usable moving forward in the game. Will he be outclassed maybe once we get a dodge area mythic monster. Is that going to happen? I don't see it happening anytime soon. Who knows? But for that reason, I highly think that Kraken is a monster worth investing in, a legendary monster worth investing in. And the best part about him is that he's an elite monster. So if you just play the game for a while and accumulate elite souls, you'll be able to get them whenever there's an elite days. And yeah, you can essentially rank them up with nature cells or elementium if you want to invest. The other monster I recommend is Wormlad, who's also an elite monster. So, I mean, Wormlad, it goes without saying, he's just phenomenal. He has stun immunity and he has the dodge area. But what makes this monster usable is his skill set is so diverse. So Restore the Dream is one of the best things this monster has. Removes negative effects, increased accuracy, regen. This monster can revive one of your monsters with evasion and regen. The good thing about this is that right now, and in the foreseeable future, I don't see that many mythic monsters removing positive effects twice from your monsters. So whoever you revive, it's a high likelihood that that monster is going to be able to stay alive. Now, of course, there's probably going to be a monster, and I mean, right now there's Blaz, who can remove positive effects twice, but that skill doesn't deal any damage. So the fact that this monster can res and give a regen, that's just awesome. And who knows, maybe we'll see relics that can help this skill out even more. This skill removes positive effects twice, super useful. This is an amazing torture skill, Sunburn and Curse, two powerful torture skills, reducing accuracy, reducing stamina and life. Despicable Beams, major damage reduction, will really help against Mythic since they deal so much damage, and it blocks their positive effects. How to Kill Your Dragon, if you want to make Wormlad as an attacker and kill all the dragon mythic monsters, go for it. Right now is the time recording. Armor Claw is a dragon-based monster. Erder is a dragon-based monster. Morgs is a dragon-based monster. And we even have Quetzalcoatl as of the time recording this video. So there are plenty of mythic monsters that Wormlad, if properly ruined, can kill. And again, because this monster has to be hit with a single target attack to die, if you have a taunt monster and Wormlad is basically going to be a guaranteed return, and then you can do How to Kill Your Dragon and maybe OTK the enemy mythic monster. And even if they kill you, remember you have your revival essence, which means you come back and you come back with the vengeance because you can do How to Kill a Dragon again. So super useful skill. We have Masterwork Armor, total damage reduction, and skill mirror. This is awesome because you apply skill mirror to yourself and you total damage reduction to the enemy monster. So if the enemy monster was still to attack you for whatever reason, you would reflect the skill back out them and you didn't take any damage thanks to the total damage reduction. Where Dragon Slayers gives yourself evasion. Like I said, a lot of the mythic monsters can't remove positive effects. I mean, we are starting to see more mythic monsters that can remove positive effects, but still, the fact that you can, if you're running an attacker Wormlad, do How to Kill a Dragon, and then go into We're Dragon Slayers and protect yourself with evasion, that is just awesome. We have a Sunburn and Shield. I don't think that's that usable, although in a world of mythic monsters, do not sleep on that 25% life shield. 25% to a mythic monster is like adding legendary stats. So it goes without saying, it's just absolutely amazing. This is a skill that heals all allies by 50%. Like if you needed to, if you use this on one of your mythic monsters that's immune to stun or just immune to, I mean, you can honestly use this on yourself since you're immune to stun. It's just a free 50% heal to your whole entire team. So skill set is so good. This is a monster I definitely think is worth it. They can both, by the way, also hold the Trap Relic, which is really good at draining enemy stamina as well. And then the final monster I really recommend getting is Madame Fusion. Madame Fusion is phenomenal. She's on a whole different level. I don't know how she's allowed to exist. Just like Warmaster Thalassa, I'm not sure how she's allowed to exist. I'm not sure how Madame Fusion was allowed to exist. This is a monster that essentially makes extra turners usable against, even if you're facing anticipation monsters. My favorite thing about this monster is the fact that she is basically guaranteed a turn. Not 100%, right? Because there's always a way to counter, but for the most part, if you have this monster at rank 3, you're pretty much guaranteed a turn. Because take a look, she has a self-evasion, and she has a self-positive effects protection. This means that if the enemy wants to get rid of evasion, they have to first remove the positive effects protection, and then they have to remove the evasion. Right? So obviously if you battle with a Wormlad, Wormlad can do that. But then if she gets a turn in, she can just deny you like crazy. Well, she doesn't deny. Here's what she does. And maybe I'll take some clips from my exclusive first look at this monster because I was blown away by this monster. This monster is literally able to trade disable the whole entire team on the enemy side, trade disable all of them. If she wants to, she can make them weak to nature or thunder based attacks, or she can also turn transfer to one of your allies, which realistically is what you do. So this is the type of monster you give 3 speed runes, so you go in the turn order, you trade disable you remove positive effects, you trade disable, remove positive effects. It's insane. Like, it doesn't matter if the enemy all has evasion at the start of the battle. Remove positive effects, trade disable, remove positive effects, trade disable, remove positive effects, trade disable. You might be wondering, what about stamina armor? This monster can hold relics that recover her stamina, so she never has to worry about it. She can hold the recharging banner, which has like, it can proc like 3 times. It's ridiculous. So Madam Fusion, for her ability to remove positive effects, trade disable, and then turn transfer to one of your allies, and you don't just turn transfer, you actually cleanse any negative effects. So once again, this monster has evasion. If the enemy was to go first in the turn order and do a control skill, and your monster got denied, the monster that you wanted to deny the enemy with, that's totally fine. You do your thing with Madam Fusion, you trade disable everyone, you remove all of their positive effects, and then you turn transfer to your control monster who was denied, but you remove positive effects and give it an extra turn, and then that monster is free to attack. Or you turn transfer to your attacker, and then your attacker does the rest. Madam Fusion is 100% on a league of her own. She's a quest monster, so obtaining her cells is a little more difficult. If you want to, you can spend the gems during quest days. Actually, see, there's quest days right here, and there's Madam Fusion, 125 gems for 25 cells. Now, in my personal opinion, do I think it's worth it? She is a super powerful monster, but again, moving forward in the world of mythic monsters, how good is she going to be in the future? It's hard to say. So is it worth investing in her? I would say if you have her, it could be worth ranking up. But if you don't have her, it might not be worth investing the time and effort into getting her, especially if you have to spend a ton of gems. But yeah, guys, I think with that being said, that is going to be my video. These are the 3 legendary monsters that I think are still worth investing in. Pretty much everyone else, you don't have to bother with. And I'm not including Warmasters, by the way. Warmasters, I would say Warmaster Ragnarök is 100% still worth it. And I think he will also be viable for a good amount of time. But pretty much everyone else, honestly, I'll just say this, you don't need to bother investing. Some people have mentioned Uglug because he has the taunt hater and he can kill some of the taunt mythic monsters. Maybe, but really it's these 3 monsters. Again, it's the dodge area with Wormlad and Kraken, and the fact they can hold revival lessons, and the fact that their skill set is so good. It is like on a whole different level. And then Madam Fusion for the fact that she pretty much gets a guaranteed turn in, and then her skill set is also on a whole different level. So these are my 3 monsters. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments below, is there any monster that you think I maybe overlooked that you think is still worth investing in and still worth ranking up? Okay? Specifically, I'm talking about monsters worth ranking up, because there's plenty of level 100 monsters that I think are worth getting. Like, I mean, the Megaton monster is still useful because they at least absorb all of the attacks from the enemy monster. So at the very least, like, because they absorb the attacks, your 2 other monsters are free to attack and do a turn, and maybe you can revive your Megaton monster, reapply the Megaton, and that monster is like this meat shield of a monster that keeps protecting you from dying. So yeah, I'm specifically talking about monsters worth ranking up: Wormlad, Kraken, and Madam Fusion. With that being said, I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much, and remember to subscribe.